match this weekend. Kamanashi comes to clash for the street cred. No hands when you stand on the land. Stay steady or you're gonna take a splash in the deep end. Light in the water so buoyancy matters.
Faster, wow!
Salty beaty.
Be prepped, it helps if you could double up. Thought it was easy when we burst in the bubble, but never mind all the tough talk. Just step on the platform, ready for the rough sport. Keep your eyes on the stage, yo. 8 exclamations when we shout out Keijo.
All right, everybody, we are back for another lovely edition of the Keijo Chad podcasts. I am Chad podcast singular. Don't know why I said it plural. We're here with my boys Animak, Cyanide Blizzard, and Evanit0. Boys, thank you so much for joining me for yet another good time.
Yo, I am so excited for the Keijo Chads this week. I have a really good pick for the Keijo Fantasy League. It was a great episode as always. And Evanit0 is at 100k subscribers on YouTube, which means he has to get a tattoo of Naxtaku. It's a great day.
Hell yeah. I'll see you guys in 7 months when it actually happens.
Curse you, COVID. Yeah, it'd be like that. But it's good days all around. And we're a few days away from Christmas, which is kind of cool. So
It's true.
Yeah.
This is true.
It's a holly
and
jolly
Keijo's
time.
the gift that keeps on giving as well.
1000%.
Yeah, my Christmas is technically on January 7th because I'm Orthodox and we go by the old calendar.
Oh.
So I have a longer Christmas season. It's exciting.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, everyone used to celebrate it on that day because it used to be December 25th. But then Pope Gregory in like the Middle Ages changed it because he was modern and stuff. But we stayed with the old school calendar established by Julius Caesar because that's how we roll.
Well, because he's Julius Caesar.
Yeah, like come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Who's
I bet
better,
he'd be good
Julius Caesar or Pope Gregory.
I mean, easy answer.
Caesar slaps him at Keijo. I need
I
it.
was going to say, throw him in a cage already. Throw him on a land. See what happens. But lads, this episode, it sure was fun. Wasn't it?
Yes.
Fun.
No, it was great. I liked how there were real consequences to using the technique, which the butt cannon technique, which is very reminiscent to shonen anime, right? Battle shonens. And it amazes me how much Keijo is actually a reference to both sports shonen anime, but also battle shonen anime, because how many times did you see, like, you know, in a shonen, the main character is training and at first they get injured trying to use the technique Deku, you know, and then they learn to use it eventually, Luffy, etc., and they master it, and then they get stronger. Same thing seems to be happening here with Keijo, except with their butts, and it's amazing.
Everything is
This
made
is a
better
really-
when it's butts.
This is a really nice change of pace because on one end of the scale, we're introduced to what is arguably the most fan service that we've seen thus far in the show. But, you know, contrast to that, we're also introduced to some of the more serious stuff as well, which you documented a bit of there as well, Animak, which is potential injuries from these maneuvers. We see in the previous episode the butt vacuum cannon. We see how devastating it is. And our main heroine, the Zomi, she's like, oh my gosh, it's so great. I want to learn how to do this move. Meanwhile, we have the siren warning her, saying, hey, look, you know, you use this move too much, you're going to end your career. We're not here to shorten people's careers. We're here to establish Keijo players. And we see in, I think what is supposed to be presumed as a backstory, we see what happened to the siren. We understand this. We see the consequences of this kind of move, and we see the effect it can have on the players. In this case, the lower spine and the hips, which is great. And that's the thing about Keijo. Butt and boobs, but it's so much more than that. It's the body taking a toll. Wrestling itself, professional wrestling, is largely considered to be a joke. You know, oh, it's choreographed, it's fake. But at the end of the day, people are still throwing each other around. You're still doing these moves. It's still going to wear on the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big thing. And that's what Keijo is really getting into now, is the wear and tear it has on the human body. We've seen them train. We're seeing them continue to advance that training, but we're also seeing the effects that these moves can have long term. And especially for a lot of these hip related moves like the butt Gatling gun or the butt vacuum cannon, I mean, boy, that can have detrimental effects long term.
Yeah, and especially these are young players. They're like 18, 19, 20. And yet they're already having these issues because this is such a athletic undertaking. And yeah, you're right with the wrestling, like professional wrestling is choreographed, but still these people have to be athletes. And Keijo is real, bro. Like Keijo, unlike professional wrestling, is the real deal.
Yeah. So they're slamming their butts into each other. Like, just imagine that. Like, imagine slamming your butt into something. Like, go up against the wall, just slam your butt into the wall. I mean, yeah, you feel that. And that's the thing, is especially with these athletes, their tone, they're built for this, and it's just eventually it's going to give out. But then you have a move that's devastating, that's like causing the hips to just whip around, and you're doing something at a high speed with that much veracity behind it as well. Oof, yeah. It's a really impactful episode. We understand the seriousness behind it, and yet at the same time they help offset some of that by providing some more fan service, a little bit of, relaxing action for the ladies.
Yeah, and we also, a big part of this was strategy in the Keijo match. There was 3 different types of techniques or types of approaches to fighting. One was the infighter, who's kind of like the grappler, right? They get in close and take down the opponent. There was the outfighter, who kind of like stays back and waits for an opportunity and uses speed to jump in at the right moment. And then there was the counter fighter, who waits for the enemy to make a mistake and uses their own energy against them and kind of like outmaneuvers them.
I think it's really cool that they go it's another testament to Keijo that for a series that could have just been like we've talked about this before, that could have just been like fan service the show. Yes. That they put in the thought of like, well, if this were a thing, there would be different classes of combatants, right? There would be these different categories of like people who just run in guns or ass ablazing, I guess. Ass ablazing, like literally whooping ass, taking names. And then you'd have like the more defensive folk who like wait for the opponent to sort of trip themselves up and then they attack. Yeah, you got your speedies, your heavies, and your counters. I like the idea that they specifically have different styles for different people, and we see that as the show eventually goes on, like how different characters like combat. And we've already sort of seen it a little bit with characters like Non, where she's not like very confrontational, but because she uses the power of thick with 3 C's, she's able to sort of like negate specific attacks. So I feel like she'd be more of like a counter as opposed to like an all-out attacker or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that they went that far and thought that much into it.
And we can't underscore that this is really a great fan service show, because there's some awesome fan service in this show. I really liked how they used the plot to justify some interesting fan service with Nozomi's special outfit that she had to wear, mm-hmm. the UTM or something. So in order to be able to use the butt cannon, she had to train her body by having this like tightly leather bound outfit attached to her at all times, which put her in some very interesting positions that one could appreciate and yet know that there was an important plot reason for it.
Well, and that's the thing, is we have Kanzai Alba giving people massages, and they have a focus on that, but what she's also doing is studying them by using her technique, which then also fits into what she's classified as well, which is a counter. So that's the thing, it all ties into itself, which is really nice. And I like the fact that they're more comfortable with presenting more fan service within the show while still being able to keep those serious notes. You see the show with a lot more confidence, and it very clearly isn't backing down. We're getting even further into depth with it. We're getting the more of the serious elements, and we're now starting to get a hold of more of the elites, and more importantly, that snobby elite who thinks that they're better than everyone else that we love to see in those shonen series.
Always. Yes. There's always one. Depends on the series. I guess there could be a few.
Also,
that's true.
You know why Keijo should be real? Because it is a job creator.
Oh, like 100%.
You would have to have professional butt masseuses for these ladies.
You would. It would be a real job, and that Evan would apply.
Not only butt masseuses, like you need boob masseuses as well, right? Because like it is butts and the boobs.
It's true. Yeah. Got to make sure they're nice and taken care of.
You best believe. I wouldn't apply, but if anyone wanted to hire me, I wouldn't say no.
Oh, you would absolutely apply, buddy.
Okay, yeah, I would.
Yeah,
It's like, let's be real. We'd all be like, me. Like,
I would
sign
think
me
less
up.
of you if you wouldn't apply, bro.
Yeah.
Not true.
It's
And even if you have a girl and she gets jealous, you're like, listen, this is my job, okay?
exactly this is
I
my
don't do this
passion.
I don't do this for fun. I do this because I'm serious about my work and I'm a professional.
It's for the love of
But
the sport.
legitimately, Evan is actually onto something. You know, we talked before, and they talk in the show about these athletes having these swimsuit sponsors. But there's a real probability that if these ladies find a masseuse that can work really well for them, they could probably contract a masseuse. You could probably make a lot of money as a masseuse as well in regards to that. So
This is true.
You could be like, I work for a certain amount, like especially if you're like popular enough with like the like S tier Keijo athletes, right? You could be like oh, I'm the masseuse for this person, sort of like being like a mechanic for an F1 car, or you're like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
on this
exactly.
team.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
There's also like those professional like trainers, for like real athletes in real life. Like if you're like, a professional masseuse for a Keijo athlete, like you can definitely upcharge.
oh yeah,
right, bro. It's like the secret lives of Keijo masseuses. Like I would watch that.
that would be that's a great spinoff.
Oh.
That's an amazing
Now
spinoff.
that's a reality TV show I'd be all about.
That's like
Yeah.
a YouTube video waiting to happen.
That's true. Yeah, the secret life. of Keijo.
2021's a whole new year, Evan.
It's true.
True.
True. I believe Sayaka also begins to learn some new moves this week, or at least is trying to
Yes.
harness and tap into something.
Her big thing is speed, and she realizes that because she isn't as thick as the other girls, it's actually an advantage. She can use her lower mass to her advantage by being faster.
Which is genius. Like to me, it's almost like it. I hate bringing this up because I feel like I mentioned this in like every, like not so much every Keijo podcast, but just like anytime it's like an underdog or like a character who can't do something but is excelling in another area. But it's very Rock Lee, where it's like I can't do the other stuff, but I can do this thing really well. So she just like stacks everything she can into speed. And it's part of the reason why I like, especially again, like after seeing Keijo, this would be round 3. This like Sayaka kind of stands out as like one of the more interesting characters because of the whole judo background and everything like that, but also just the fact that, like Animak said, she's not really as well endowed, shall we say, as like some of the other characters. So she kind of has to like work within that and like make her speed her greatest advantage and like make her thinner frame her big advantage, which I think is really cool.
So in most professional sports, generally speaking, talent goes a long way, but you can't teach size. You can't teach build. And there are just certain things where ultimately that's going to affect you. I remember for myself when I was in high school and I used to play basketball all the time. That was kind of the thing, is after a certain point, it's just because I wasn't the same height as a lot of the other guys and I wasn't as big as them either. That's just it. All of a sudden I had to adjust and I had to reapproach how I was, approaching basketball. I had to change my mentality overall. Keijo is a bit different in that aspect. And that's the thing that makes Sayaka really interesting, is not only can she utilize her background in judo for a completely different sport, but because of the fact that different sizes and shapes for body types is so universal to so many different styles, it doesn't matter. She doesn't need to fit a certain profile to be able to be a competitive athlete or to be really good. She can utilize what she's got and work with that and train that. And we see that. We see that hunger, that tenacity. We see Rin introduced. Rin taunts her. She's like, oh, no one else matters except for Nozomi. They're just a bunch of ordinary people. And she's challenged by that. She takes offense to it and she trains. We see that hunger, that drive in her. She even gets a little snappy and petty at Nozomi as a result, but it's human. It's understandable that she's going to be like that. She's driven and she's going to do what it takes to prove Rin wrong. And that's where we kind of end the episode at. Don't not to reach too far ahead, but that's what really makes Keijo a fascinating sport. Your body type you can work with. It's like it depends on how hard are you going to push that. How far are you willing to go to work within any quote unquote potential limitations or restrictions to make it happen?
Yeah. And I mean, I really like the cast. The more I watch it, the more I like the four main cast members.
Oh my gosh,
And
yeah.
I thought Nozomi was great this episode because she learns about all the negative consequences of the butt vacuum cannon thing. But she says, listen, I want to do it because this is something unique. I was able to do it not even realizing what I was doing. If I can actually know what I'm doing and train, I can be so much better. I can be at the top. That's something that makes me unique and different, and it's an advantage that I have. But she keeps getting called out. No, you can't do it. And she's like, no, I will. I want to do it. So then they're like, okay, well, if you want to do it, you have to wear this super restrictive outfit. You have to learn to deal with it. You have to train and exercise way harder than other people. You have to do
I
stuff
do
that other
remember
people.
that outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. But like, so she had to train harder than the others if she wants even a chance to use this dangerous move. And we really get to see her tenacity when she decides to go through with it. And it is a pretty picture.
It's I like how almost Deku like it is. How she's just like, no, I'm gonna do this thing, but you could seriously hurt yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. Watch. She's like, no, screw you. I'm gonna do this
the
thing.
best part is the contrast of that, because whenever she talks about being like this top tier athlete, it's dollar signs in the eyes, wearing this beautiful gown, and money's falling from the sky. But as superficial as those desires are, she's hungry for it. She wants to do it. Evan, would you wear that suit? Would you wear that suit for a full week?
I mean, if it meant that I was going to achieve my goals and become the top Keijo star and earn lots of money, then yes, of course.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that. Like Deku, the thing with Deku is he's too perfect. He's too nice. Like he would do stuff like that to help other people. His whole thing is I want to help other people.
Yeah.
But Nozomi's like, no, I want to be successful. I'm a competitor. I want to be rich.
Yeah.
Like she's more human in that way, and she's better, nicer to look at than Deku. Sorry, my boy, but
I mean, it'd be like that. Deku's a good
be
boy,
like that,
but
yeah.
like, it not really much of a contest. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, no, I agree. She's an athlete, like through and through. Like she's like, no, I know what I want. I'm driven. I'm gonna get it. Damn the consequences. I'll worry about that when I gotta worry about that. Like that's. I do like that her teachers are there to like tell her like, listen, like you that's your problem. It's your gift and your curse. The fact that you are this driven, because like it could hurt you one day. But at the same time, she's like, I will worry about that when the time comes. And I'm not going to lie, kind of relatable. Not going to lie.
Yeah,
It's a very teenage thing.
Yeah.
But it's perfect. It fits. And we can all relate to that to some degree.
And I did like that the teachers weren't just like, okay, do it. They're like, oh, well, if you want to do it, then you have to meet these strict requirements and go through things that other people don't. So it was like they're giving her the chance, but she has to earn it.
Exactly. She's a cool main character. Like I really think Nozomi's like one of like the cooler main characters in a long time. Like I just like in a sports series like this, especially like in like female driven sports series, I feel like a lot of the times that like girls get kind of a bad rap with shows like Tamayori and stuff like that. I believe that was the baseball show. It's just not. There's almost no contest. Like, yes, with Keijo, there's like fan service, right? So I can see some people maybe being put off by that. But it's in service to the series, and these girls are badass. Like, I would not screw with any of these girls. Like, I would not get on any of their bad sides. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah, like I
Nozomi
agree
as
with the
lead
second.
is great.
I agree with the second thing you said. Yes.
Yeah, like Nozomi as a that's
Sexuality shouldn't be shamed in regards to them still being able to be competitive.
Exactly.
You can
Yeah.
be beautiful and still command respect, still demand it, still commandeer a room. And I think that's really important. We really see that, I feel like, more than anything with this episode, and I feel like it does a lot to say that as well. You can look at it and go, of course they throw in a bunch of fan service and someone would be groped. Well, no, it's more than just that.
Speaking of which, I was upset that my girl Non got the Miss Asahina treatment from Haruhi Suzumiya. I was like, how dare you touch my girl?
Non, yeah, she really is like, wow, she really is just Asahina. Like now that I think about it, I'm like, oh no, that sucks.
I like Asahina.
I do, but like I feel bad for her most of the time. Like, oh
Yeah, but she's known as a thicker Asahina, so it's like
At least she doesn't have to wear a bunny suit and go around holding a sign
yeah,
or a
oof.
gun.
Oh, poor Asahina. Yeah, she doesn't have to put up with Haruhi, which is nice.
yeah. But there are some Haruhi-esque personalities in that elite
Oh yeah,
Oh,
club
yes.
for sure.
1000%. Even sometimes like Nozomi like kind of gets on her like I'm the best. Like she kind of gets on her shit sometimes where she's like I am the greatest. Like I will be the best. Like watch, like you do have a bit of that cocky attitude.
Yeah,
But with
Nozomi
Nozomi, I
does it-
like it.
Nozomi does it in like a shonen protagonist way. Like
Exactly.
not like I'm doing this to put someone down. It's just kind of like Asta or Luffy. It's like I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this because I'm gonna try the hardest.
Yeah. Like yeah, especially like Luffy in particular, I think of as the character who like if you didn't know him, like if you weren't with him the whole way, he might come across as cocky, but you know him, like in the same way we know Nozomi, so that's not like a cocky attitude, that's not dismissive, that's them just saying like, no, I'm the best because I try the hardest.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. Like the thing with Luffy is look at how he treats other people, and he treats
Mhm.
other people with respect.
1000%. Luffy's great, but this isn't a One Piece podcast. But yeah, Luffy's the best. But Nozomi, she pretty top tier too. She pretty top tier. I went into this like the first time I watched it like way back. I was like an Alba guy, but on this rewatch for the podcast, I think I'm becoming more and more of a Nozomi guy.
Oh, it seems you're becoming more and more of a Chad. You used to be a Kudere, but now you're becoming more of a Chad.
Yeah, now I am blossoming into my true Chad formation.
Yes,
the
Chad
Keijo
formation.
Chad formation. Let's go.
Hell yeah, you love to see it.
I
Any
think we
final
covered-
thoughts?
Yeah, I think we covered everything in terms of the episode. I don't know if you guys said any other things. It was a nice cliffhanger ending. The real competition is beginning.
It's gonna start to pop off.
They're gonna be testing out their strategies now that they've been planning and training for. So yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It feels like we're entering that first tournament arc.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really
Sure.
excited to see that, especially with the note that they end the episode on. Really looking forward to seeing episode 4.
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting, especially like again because like when Keijo goes in, it goes in. Like especially during like some of the bigger matches. Like I'm really excited to see it again. It'll be exciting. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the Keijo podcast. It is that time.
Keijo Fantasy League.
Fantasy League time! I have a weird one this week. I think it's good though. All right. Now, as usual, I think we'll flip a coin. Who went first last time? I think it was Animak went first last time.
I believe it was.
All right. Then Evan, in honor of the great Evanit0 hitting the destined 100K.
Oh,
you
okay.
can-
All right.
You can go first. I'm gonna flip a coin. Okay. I'm gonna flip a coin.
See-
If it's heads,
Mhm,
if it's
mhm.
heads, it's Cyanide. Do you want to go first, Animak?
Heads.
Okay. If it's heads, it's Animak. If it's tails, it's Cyanide. Because I don't want to go first.
Okay.
I just threw Cyanide under the bus.
Oh my
I mean
goodness.
that is fair.
Yeah. All right, here we go. It is heads. All right,
So
it's
it's me.
Animak. Yep, and then
All
me
right.
versus Cyanide after. So,
right.
Evan.
For this round,
Okay.
I choose my girl,
Oh,
Bisky from Hunter x Hunter in her true form.
Are you okay?
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to look it up because I'm not.
I'm
that
actually
far.
looking that up too.
Sorry, lads.
Oh, in her adult form.
Oh my god, bruh.
Okay.
Animak,
I get it.
Jesus. That's
All right,
harsh.
Bisky from Hunter x Hunter is a really good pick. All right, that's fair.
All right, Evan. Who
I am
you...
choosing Mirko from My Hero Academia.
Oh no!
You
It's
picked
the-
my wife? How dare you?
the thigh champion herself, bro.
Bruh, this matchup. No. All right, Animak, your reasoning.
Yeah. I feel like this is an interesting matchup because, first of all, I love Mirko. She's the best. But I feel like this is an interesting one because Bisky would be the kind of infighter. She's got the mass and like the muscle, and she will be like going straight at you. Whereas Mirko would be the outfighter with her jumping, using strategy and trying to get in at just the right moment.
Yeah.
I don't think Bisky is just so strong. I don't think you can like push her out off the land.
But at the same time, Mirko would just be hard to reach for Bisky.
Yeah, that it would be a great matchup with two totally different strategies. Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be great, honestly.
It's like brawn versus speed.
Okay. I was like legit expecting a more heated battle, but I like how Animak's like, fuck. Not Mirko.
No, but they both bring a lot to the table.
They do.
Yeah,
it's very like even.
Yeah, because Mirko has great like movement technique, and Bisky has like raw power. Now, the thing about Mirko, it's hard to say where her quirk begins and where it ends, because Bisky
Yeah.
obviously can't use her Nen. But
Yeah,
if
it's all
Mirko can't use
physical.
her quirk, then she might not be able to jump as far. Or
That's
as
true. She
stuff
might
like
not be
that.
able to jump without the quirk.
Well,
Yeah, it's hard to say.
that will be up for the chat to decide. Let's go ahead and start up the poll then. Unless you lads have any last minute heated, like a heated point that you want to bring up. Otherwise, I will let the chat decide your fate.
Well, I know Bisky wins if we're going by, current physical form, but
Yeah, if it's physical form alone, Bisky would definitely win. But I would imagine that Mirko can definitely get around even without her quirk, right? Like obviously, it puts a lot of training. Like the quirks are an extension of your body in My Hero Academia and what it can do. So I imagine without her quirk, she could at least be in the WNBA. I think.
I think she'd still be like relatively agile. She would definitely be an outfighter.
Yeah. So for me, I think it would be a great match. I'm just going with Bisky on raw power. I don't think you can move her out of the land. She's so strong. But if we're talking about who I would waifu up, it would definitely be Mirko.
That's fair.
I imagine at some point in the match, Mirko would move out the way quick enough, and Bisky might just topple over and fall out of the ring.
That was my thought, is that she might be too bulky to the point where, like, if you can get her on one of the pillars, like, like the like in between the land, there's like those little like like those like careful step, like she could kind of trick her into.
Oh yeah, for sure.
up
I think
there.
Mirko definitely has a chance to win with her like agility. So it's basically agility and technique versus great power, and it would be honestly a great matchup. Like I would love to watch that.
The chat has decided, lads, and the chat has.
They voted for Bisky.
They voted.
What?
They went with Bisky. Bisky 11-4.
Oh, what? Green Knight says Bisky's like 57 years old, so she has more experience. So I mean, that's a good point that I could have used, but didn't.
I mean,
thank you.
Did not expect that.
I did. I'm gonna be honest. That was a surprise. I did not expect that.
That's an upset right there.
That
oh my
is.
goodness.
Bisky, she's gonna be a hard one to beat, no matter who wins between Cyanide and I.
Yeah, I honestly thought because of Mirko is so hot right now that Mirko would win, and I wouldn't be mad if she did. But I appreciate you, chat.
Dang, crazy. All right, Cyanide, it's you and me. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
I can go first if you want, because I think we're both tapping into unknown areas here. I don't know what you necessarily got in mind, but
yeah, like I think you said that yours is going to be more sort of a surprise. Like mine is just weird. Like straight up, I was like this character, and I'm like, I don't know how that'll work, but I'm gonna go with this character.
Okay,
so, yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, so we're going down the path of obscure. We're traveling back. Travel back, me, folks. We're traveling back to 2011 for a little series called Bento. I don't know if any of you individuals have seen it before, but there's a character in there, Sen Yarizuri, who's known as the Ice Witch. Now, the whole concept behind Bento is quite simple. See, after a certain point, the god of discounts comes out and they put stickers on bentos, marking them half price. The goal is simple: to grab a bento, to get the best one that you want. But you see, the thing is, it's not as easy as that. Oh no, you have to fight. You have to claw your way for this. And my athlete that I've chosen is the one and the only character who's got speed, agility, and prowess. By all means, don't think just because she has speed and agility that she can't fight. She's easily one of the most powerful brawlers in the series, demonstrated taking on multiple opponents at a time. Now, of course, all of this training in high school, because that's when this series takes place, this bento fighting is trained her diligently and fiercely for when she does graduate, she can go straight into Keijo competition.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That was well thought out. And I looked up who this is, and I'm like, I do remember this character because I remember thinking like, oh, she's really hot. So
Yeah,
it's like,
so
I remember.
She's like a Sayaka type, I'd say. She's not thick, but she's got the speed and agility, right?
That seems to be the big angle. Okay. This is a fair opponent for a true destroyer of worlds.
Oh.
Are you okay?
A counter type. Sage King, thank you for the follow. A counter type who has the mind of an absolute criminal mastermind, an evil genius, hell-bent on dominating the student council. My pick is Chika from Kaguya-sama. Chika from Kaguya.
Get out of here, JoJo.
Chika
man.
from Kaguya. She got all the assets being
My
the key word,
God.
in all the right places. Chika, absolute queen. She's definitely a counter type. She's on some non-level. You know, she's going to be sort of like waiting for Sen to sort of like to draw Sen in close, you know, and then she's going to pull some Chika level Chika level shenanigans and sort of like bounce her way through, if you know what I'm saying. Easy Chika criminal mastermind. Chika definitely going to take it.
I don't know, man. I get that Chika would be unpredictable. Like if she was a Mario Power Tennis star, she would be a tricky. I think she would be like,
Yes.
what is she gonna do? Doing her crazy dance moves to evade. I get it, but I just don't think she has the physical strength or assets to compete with top level Keijo.
I think she's going to trick Sen into falling out. Like, I think she's going to use her God-given figure, as it were, to sort of just bounce Sen right off without her really having to do much. She's going to get in Sen's head, you know? She's going to say some stuff that's going to crawl under the skin, you know? She's going to poke and prod and sort of laugh her way through, and then when stuff hits the fan, just negates the attack, and then lets Sen fall into the water.
See, that's tough because the thing is you're taking someone who is very cool, calm, collected, who's experienced, who has a wide range of talent, who has great discipline, great focus, and you're essentially pitting them against someone who is the embodiment of chaos.
Yes.
I mean, you can't read. I mean, literally drunken martial arts master.
Yes.
You can't read her.
Yeah.
And that's...
It's a hard one.
See, that I guess that is difficult because Sen has always been able to adapt to an opponent. But that's the thing, though, is that, you know, if you're pitting them against each other for the first time, does that mean that it would result in a loss, or would that result in an adaptation throughout the match? And that's...
It's interesting. Both, honestly, like, all four of us have had kind of heated bouts.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, pretty even as well. Because it's, like, yeah, it's, like, a unpredictable character versus, like, a very adaptable character. So I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's the thing with Sen, is she acts as a mentor for the main character who gets involved in this whole bento competition. And so she's very clearly intelligent and methodical. But that's the thing, is that when you're pitting such an opponent against the living embodiment of a poker face, okay, you know, where do you go from there? That's... Ooh.
Yeah.
Even I have a tough time.
It's going to be tough. Chat, this is up to you. This is your choice, chat.
I got a feeling I know who's going to win, and I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, I personally don't see Chika as a fighter, so I don't, you know, buy into it the whole way, JoJo. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
But
I did say it was
respect
weird.
Your argument. I do respect your argument.
I did say it was a weird one. This is kind of close, actually. I'm watching the poll.
Thing is, she lacks the physical capabilities, but could she be trained? I don't know. We don't see that in Kaguya-sama, so it's an untapped.
Chika is pretty tough, though. Like, we do know, like, she can literally knock a man out with a paper fan.
This is true.
Oh, tie.
It's a tie.
What do we do in the event of a tie?
I don't know.
Well, you know what, JoJo? I didn't vote, and I gotta say, because I really do want to see.
I didn't vote either, to be honest.
Okay,
I want to
run the poll again.
So I'm gonna put my vote for Chika. Evan, who would you vote for?
Cyanide, don't go against your own girl, bro.
Yeah.
That's not allowed.
I want to see Chika in this final round. I want to see it because I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious.
Both win? I don't know about both winning.
This is funny because I would have just voted for Sen.
Yeah, that's who I thought you were gonna go for. So I'm like, all right, we're running the poll again.
Give us the final vote.
We'll run it again.
Oh, we can get a third party, right?
I guess.
So I think what happened was they both knocked each other off the land, and Bisky wins by default.
You're saying it was a no contest between myself and JoJo as a result.
That's funny. Shit. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I think we run it again, and everybody vote this time. Everybody
Stop the votes.
Stop the votes. No, we need more votes. Is what we need. Okay, we're gonna run it again. Chat.
Because that's the thing is it's not that I don't think that Sen could win there, but it's an interesting thing to think about in regards to Chika because she's out there. Nobody can read her. Nobody gets her throughout the entirety of Kaguya-sama. And that's the thing is you're taking a very crafted individual who's done this bento competition throughout high school, who is very, very trained, very intelligent, very capable, would very much easily be able to fit into the field. Mm-hmm. This is the character I was going to champion in the first episode, but I didn't because of how obscure she was.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing is I feel like this is a character that would easily fit in that world and very much be a rising star. Dare I say would make the elite class.
Well, then you got to stick with your girl and not be like, oh, Chika.
Okay, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to allow additional votes. So if you have channel points, you want to use them, or bits, you can use them on your preferred girl. So that's how we're going to do this.
You didn't have channel point voting on?
No, I didn't have like additional votes. I just because it felt like cheating.
Nah.
Now I was like, fucking like Mirko could have won.
Getting a tie with just one vote apiece was really fascinating to see.
Yeah,
I don't know. I tell you, like I wouldn't mind winning this because Animak, I owe you a rematch here.
This is true.
I got a feeling with my lady. Well, rather with the lady that I'm champion, not mine. She belongs to no one. She's the Ice Queen. She's a wolf. You know, she's free. So
12,
the queen that I'm champion
is 1919. 26. Oh my god, it's so close. Oh no, okay. No, it's 35. This is the closest. This is heated. I'm like imagining it in my head as the poll is going.
One bit.
The Ice Witch versus the living embodiment of chaos. I'm telling you.
Y'all are insane. This is Sen is pulling ahead. Chat, think of Chika. Think of Best Girl. What is she gonna say to Kaguya?
So close?
Because she's Chika. Dang it. Evanit0 contributed 85 channel points, bruh. Evan. What the shit? Evan. You betrayed me. This is okay. We're leaving channel points on from now on. This is so funny. Oh, you betrayed me.
Hey man, this isn't voter fraud, okay? All right.
Voter fraud. Stop the count. Stop the count.
This is a fair election, okay?
How did 85 votes for Pennsylvania all go for Sen? You know,
Come on, yeah.
This is a fair election.
I don't know, man.
Oh
This is a
my
fair
god.
election. This is vetted by the board.
What the hell? Okay.
Everyone was allowed multiple votes. That includes Animak, and he didn't use it. Just saying.
That was really funny. All right.
I'm
It's-
dead. I don't think I
it's-
can do this now. I'm dead.
It's Bisky versus Sen. Gentlemen,
Oh.
make your arguments.
All right, so some things that I didn't mention earlier, but I was reminded in the chat by Green Knight and Gentleman, is that Bisky at 57 is very experienced as a fighter, and also she's a master of martial arts. Even without Nen, she's extremely skilled in the martial arts. She teaches others. She's so skilled. She's top notch. She teaches others how to fight. So I think that Bisky takes this one. You know, she's got the mass and the raw power. She's got the technique and the strategy and the martial arts. You know, she's the total package.
Fair enough.
She is a very fierce opponent, and I tell you,
And I hate to be that guy, Cyanide, but let's look at, you know, the main assets of Keijo, their breasts and butt. In the breast department, Bisky absolutely annihilates your chosen warrior.
this is true.
And
This
that is a
is
major
very true.
disadvantage in a fight such as Keijo.
And that is tough. But, and this is where I think Sen would be very adaptable. I think she'd be capable of taking on all three different roles. And in a fight such as this, I can't think of a better role she would take on than a counter. Because she does lack in that capacity in comparison. However, because of that strength and because of just that ferocity that would be brought to the table, a counter position would be perfect against such an opponent. And likewise as well, we start the series off with Sen teaching our main character, our hopeless main character, in regards to the ways of Bento. So already at a young age, while being inexperienced in comparison to your chosen warrior as well, she is already training people. She has that ferocity. She has that same fierceness, yet she's also very capable of more subtle things, such as stitch work and laid back things such as taking time to read a magazine, appreciating a good meal.
I don't know how this relates to Keijo, bro, but
How does the great discipline?
listen. Again, Sam the Gunman in chat reminds me that Bisky is a living, breathing JoJo's reference. So I mean,
She
It's
looks
true.
like it. Like when I saw her, I was like, Jesus.
But at the end of the day, anybody can win on land.
This is
At
true.
the end of the day, it can be anyone's game. After all, we see that in today's episode, that with the special moves such as the butt vacuum cannon, that can make anyone prize material right there. So there is no certainty. And that's the best part about Keijo, is that it could very easily tip the balance of that. You're absolutely right. You've got a character that embodies quite possibly two of the greatest materials out there, of JoJo and Hunter x Hunter. But at the same time, the underdog that is Sen, I got a feeling, could be able to pull out something remarkable, something unstoppable, something unbelievable.
yeah, I mean, I
Making
think you're
the
right.
impossible.
It's not
probable.
100%, and I think given the right circumstances, anyone could win on land. But I just think in the majority of cases, you match up Sen versus Bisky 100 times, more than 50 times Bisky takes it, but that doesn't mean that Sen can't win.
No, that is true. And that's the thing. That's, you've got an experienced, challenging opponent like that. Absolutely. Sen is definitely going to lose. But at the same time, I also feel, because of Sen's adaptability, because of her, means to being able to adjust from starting off as a brawler and being able to compose herself as a brawler as well. That's the thing. I got a feeling that you've got someone in there that would definitely, the more fights went on. Now, if you're looking out of 100, you're asking me that Sen's going to lose a lot at the beginning, but it's going to be studying that opponent, learning from that opponent, adapting to that opponent. And that's where you're going to see the tables turn. That's where you're going to see more wins coming out. And that is where you're going to see the throne topple over.
All right. Well, the arguments have been made. Now the only thing that is left is for the votes to be cast. Ladies and gentlemen, cast your votes.
Oh, Bisky's last name is Kruger?
That's what I looked up.
Oh,
I wasn't
That
sure if
is
that was true or
badass,
not.
bro.
I was like, is that her name? Yeah, like I looked it up, but yeah, apparently Biscuit Kruger.
I think you're allowing bits, eh?
I am.
Oh no.
It's honestly whoever clicks the vote button the fastest, really.
Well, I don't have any bits in my account.
No,
so-
he's allowing channel points as well.
Yeah, you could use channel points.
Haven't used 85 channel points.
Hey.
I love it. Oh, my day
Hey,
has been
man.
made.
This is very close. Okay, never mind.
You just had
Everyone
to say that, didn't you?
I'm
remember
sorry.
that they can click. Everyone remember that they can click.
Chosen Animal contributed 145 channel points.
145 clicks.
Holy
Man,
shit.
wow. That is
Mad
insane.
lads.
Okay, listen, this was fraudulent. Okay, I think that the vote should have been stopped. All right, don't trust these electors that were chosen for you. We need to recount right now. All right.
Thank you,
would-
Chosen Animal, for doing the right thing because I don't know how to use Twitch.
No.
I'm gonna say I didn't expect a character from such an obscure series to be able to compete with someone from Hunter x Hunter, especially someone like Bisky.
Listen,
Yeah, she fought hard.
The bookies say I won. Okay, I'm just saying.
The
If we look at if we
won.
look at my Twitter poll that I'm sending to you guys in the chat, okay, my Twitter poll says that Mirko should have won.
Who's
Okay,
better in a Keijo
just
Bruh.
saying.
Bruh.
All right, these votes are rigged.
Bruh. I mean,
Oh
in
my
fairness,
goodness.
like, bruh, that's like...
I can't.
Yo,
believe it.
listen, all the challenges were good and all that stuff, but I am the double reigning champion.
Hey,
I'm the-
Chosen.
That's what I was going to say. I would like to point out that this
Chosen.
is now the second time Animak has reigned supreme. Cyanide's come in second, and me and Evan get knocked out before we can even go to the finals.
These votes are rigged.
You're the
I'm
one
gonna
who
be
said
honest.
turn them on.
I did not expect Mirko to lose that handedly.
Down with democracy.
I love
It's
democracy.
Mirko, guys. It's Mirko.
Mirko.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Mirko.
But Evan, in your Twitter poll, you did not use Bisky's true form. Okay, so people are thinking of like the little girl.
Regular
form.
Bisky.
Wow. Listen.
Yeah.
There is
okay.
a key difference.
You're a propagandist, Evan.
You are like I just
Nah,
like I went on
nah.
Twitter just now and I see you. Don't let me down,
Silly Bisky.
bruh.
But yeah,
Tragedy.
all that matters in the end is that I am the double reigning champion, the king of Keijo. It is a title that I just invented, and I'm
Oh.
taking it.
The king of Keijo. I
The
need
king of
fan art
Keijo.
of the king
Guys,
of Keijo.
we can't allow him to win 3 more times, or he truly will be the king. He'll be unstoppable. No.
Yeah, we gotta end this.
If I win again, then I get to be an honorary Keijo masseuse. Okay.
If you win a third time, you are an honorary Keijo masseuse. I will agree to that. But I think that's where we're going to end the recorded version of the podcast, because this time I'm not going to forget to raid somebody. So
my.
this time we're
Shadow
going to
Legend.
end the recorded part. So thank you guys so much for joining us. If you guys want to join us live, this is over on Twitch, twitch.tv/JoJo Talks Too Much. Usually it'll be 6 p.m. This week it was 6:30, but it's usually going to be 6 p.m. on a Monday. So if you want to join us, 6 p.m. EST, Monday, twitch.tv/JoJo Talks Too Much. Hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. But for now, this has been the Keijo CHADS podcast, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.